In this video I will show you how I make cowboy candy, and it's a little different than the common way to do it. First of all, I have a lot of different kinds of chilies and I'm going to use all of them. I really like different colors and shapes and that they're not too hot, and I will also use some bell peppers so it will get a little sweeter. And as you can see, this is from last summer in 2022, where I had a lot of chilies in my greenhouse, and now I'm going to pick all of them, and then I'll show you how I will make the cowboy candy. I also spotted a few tomatoes that were almost ripe and they were really low hanging. They were close to the dirt, and if I don't pick them right now, some insects will get into them. So I just picked along while I was also picking all of the chilies. And now I have brought all of my chilies inside and I'm going to wash the dust off of them. They're not really dirty, just a little dusty. And the way I'm making this, I pick all of my chilies whenever they're ripe. Then I will de-seed some of them and cut all of them up into smaller pieces, and then I will freeze them. So at the end of the year, when I have all of my frozen chilies and maybe some other peppers, I will make my cowboy candy. So I don't have to make all of the work right now in the middle of summer where it's really busy. So now I just went outside on my patio and I'm going to cut up all of the chilies. And as you can see here, I removed some of the seeds, not all of them. So in this way I don't mess up my kitchen, and if I drop something on the floor it can just stay there because I'm on the outside. And I just put on a plastic glove because some of them are a little hotter than others. So I just cut them out into the pieces that I like. I like them pretty small, so I don't have big chunks of chili. And then I'll just put it into my bag and it will go into the freezer and stay there maybe for a few months. When I'm making this voiceover, we are in May 2023, the year after. And I can't remember exactly when I made the Cowboy Candy, but I think it was in the winter time, maybe in January or so. So that is really nice to don't have to do all of the work at the same time. And this is a little later, maybe a few months later, where I bought some snack peppers and bell peppers and some sweet chilies, and I'm going to wash them, and I will chop these up in my food processor so they will also get quite small. And if you like bigger chunks, you can just pulse it a little less than I did, or you can just cut them up, or you can just leave them out if you just want chilies. And I just like it a little sweeter without using sugar. I also like a lot of garlic in my Cowboy Candy, so I'm peeling a lot of them, and then I will also put them in the food processor so they will get really small. And these are all of my frozen chilies, so they are just ready to get into my pot, and I will heat it all up. I have a variety of different vinegars that I'm using. I just have some white distilled vinegar, some apple cider vinegar, and some wine vinegar, and you can just use whatever you like. I just had a few different kinds, so that's what I'm using. I'm also adding in some salt and pepper, and down in the description I will add a recipe on how you can make it yourself. I'm also adding in some chili powder and some turmeric, and in the recipe I think it also calls for ginger, but I just left that out. Now I'm going to heat all of this up. And instead of sugar, I'm using erythritol, and I have this bag, and I will also put in some of this gelling agent or whatever it's called. It's just to make it a little more syrupy without putting in a lot of sugar. So I'm not putting any sugar in this. I'm using the erythritol, but if you use too much erythritol, it will crystallize. So that is why I'm doing it this way instead. Now it's all heated up, and I will put the big bag of erythritol in and let that melt, and then I'll put the little bowl of erythritol and gelling agent in as well, and then it all has to dissolve and have to be activated so it can gel up just a little. It won't be a jelly, it will just be a little thicker than just water. So that is why I'm using this. And now it only has to boil for a few minutes or it won't be thick at the end. I'm also putting in some citric acid, and this will also help with the color, the taste, and the shelf life of it. So now it's done, and I'm bringing it out to my big cooker where I can water bath it in, and I have all of my jars ready, they're cleaned, and the water is reheating in my cooker. So I will fill all of my jars and then I'll put them into my water bath canner. It's an electric one, and I've shown you how I use it in a lot of other videos, so you can always go back and watch some of those. And it's really easy because I don't have to have an eye on it when it's cooking. I will just set the temperature and the time. And I'm cleaning the rims really good so there won't be any sticky stuff on there, so I can get a nice seal. And I will just put all of them into my water bath canner, and I will put them into multiple layers with just a dish towel in between so that the jars won't touch when it's boiling. And this is a safe method to do it this way, and it's really nice that I can make all of it in one batch. So even though I have a lot of jars, they all fit in there. So as you can see, it's filled to the top. And I'll just leave it like this and get it to a rolling boil, and then I will set my timer. And now it's finished, so I can take all of the jars out, and I will let them cool until the next day, where I will check the seals, and all of them sealed. So now all of them are ready, and we have a lot of delicious cowboy candy for the next year or so. And as mentioned, it's May right now, and I already made a lot of new little chili plants, so I will have a lot of cowboy candy for the next year as well. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, and you can always follow us on Instagram at Vestas Farm Life as well. Have a nice day. Bye bye.